As we know, the politically weaponized FBI and DOJ under the Biden administration went after peaceful pro-lifers, J6ers, and Catholics attending Latin Mass, parents trying to hold their school boards accountable, and many more conservatives. They refused to prosecute heinous sex crimes against children and actual terrorists who wanted death to America and chanted it in our streets. In October 2023, rioters from the Jewish Voice for Peace and If Not Now, both violent pro-Islamic groups that support Hamas, invaded the Capitol complex. As a matter of fact, they came in this building right here, and they took over the Cannon Rotunda. Their actions, they completely shut down the elevators, the stairwells, the hallways. They blocked exits, and the police officers were assaulted. And they took over and stopped hearings, and they stopped Congress. Same way January 6th did, although they were not prosecuted and they were not held accountable the same way protesters on January 6th were. Now, I bring this up today because the riot organizers that held this riot here in the Cannon building not only communicated through a chat that appears to be Signal, similar to different messaging programs you've spoken about. But the title of the chat was Global Intifada. So if you see, it's hard for you to see, I know, from here, but this picture right here is a screenshot of one of their cell phones as they were communicating with each other. You can see in the background their signs. It was taken over in the Cannon Rotunda, but right here it says Global Intifada. They were an organized group, and they had organized this pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist riot here in the Cannon building. And Mr. Flesch, in your testimony, you talk about globalizing the Intifada. What is the goal for globalizing Intifada, not only worldwide, but in the streets of America?
Yes, ma'am. Well, the goal of people calling to globalize Intifada is to bring a Palestinian-inspired strategy of violent political revolution targeting civilians, including children, and essentially to overthrow the United States and to defeat the fabric of society of the United States.
So their stated goal is to overthrow the United States, and they organized, and they call themselves Global Intifada, and they came in this building in 2023. That is shocking. If you look at the names of the members in the group chat, you'll find the lead attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center, the SPLC, Katrina Bleckley. Right here, Katrina Bleckley is part of the Global Intifada, lead attorney for the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is the same law center that provided nearly 40 pages of testimony to the same January 6th committee that was prosecuting people for protesting the 2020 election. This is also the same law center that was cited in the FBI memo that labeled traditional Catholics as radical extremists. This is the same law center, which has nearly $770 million in assets, by the way, and was given over $8,000 by the Department of State in 2021 for speaking engagements with Leisha Brooks. So we're here talking about online radicalization, but we're also, through this right here is proof for every single American that this radicalization that's happening online is radicalization that has happened right here in our government that stopped Congress. I would also like to highlight the threat of online radicalization and how the threat within our own homeland has been exacerbated by more than 12 million illegals that Democrats allowed to pour into our communities under Biden, with 2 million of them being known gotaways who we have no clue where they are from, where they are now, and what their motives are inside our homeland. Dr. Gartenstein-Ross, can you briefly outline, I know I'm out of time here, the key methods foreign terrorist groups use to radicalize individuals online to not only join their ranks, but carry out attacks? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, ma'am.
About 30 seconds.
Sure. To do it very quickly, as Dr. Braddock said, there often is not a great gulf between what's done online and offline. Online, generally speaking, Methods include looking at people who seem susceptible to propaganda, forging a relationship with them. They sort of act as a social movement in that way, getting to know people who they want to recruit. And I've written about what's called the virtual plotter model that was that ISIS used a lot, and I believe still does in a number of different ways, which uses encryption often to be with attackers right up until the moment that they attack. Thank you.